Hello class, today I'll be showing you one of my favorite techniques, reductive charcoal drawing. For this process you will need charcoal paper. This textured paper can be found at drawing stores such as Dick Blick. It is textured so as to hold the charcoal in place so it doesn't all slide off the paper. Next you'll need an eraser. You'll need a thick piece of charcoal. This can be used for the initial covering of the paper and later detail. You'll need a cloth or non-textured paper towel for smoothing down the charcoal. Step 1. The first step of a reductive charcoal drawing is to cover your entire sheet of paper with charcoal. So, take your piece of charcoal and spread it all over the paper as evenly as possible. After the first layer is complete, rub your cloth over the whole piece of paper. This will remove some of the charcoal that hasn't sunk in yet and will help the rest of it blend into the paper. Then, repeat the process by covering the paper with charcoal again, then going over it with your cloth. This process will ensure that each layer of charcoal is setting into the paper instead of just piling up. Continue to repeat the process until a medium value is reached. The value needs to be in this range so that both highlights and shadows will stand out. Step 2. For this demonstration, I will be drawing an egg. An egg clearly shows my light source. Here is my lightest light, and here is my darkest shadow, and here is my middle value. Every other shade on the egg is in between. Now, if it helps you to do so, you can lightly outline the shape of the egg with your charcoal. This outline can later be smoothed away with your cloth. However, the values should define the shape, so an outline is not strictly necessary. The first step is to find the most highlighted part of your object. This is the part where the light hits the most strongly. This part, the lightest light, should never have any charcoal on it, so use your eraser to remove it all. Then, use your eraser to remove most of the charcoal in the next lightest parts, and blend the two so there is not a line of difference between them. Continue removing and blending until you reach the part of your egg's value that matches your background value. This does not need to be removed or added to, so it just needs to be blended with the rest of the values. Next, find the darkest shadow on your egg, where there is the least light. For this shadow, you will use your dark charcoal to darken it. To darken, use the same method you used to cover the paper before. Cover the shadowed spot with charcoal, rub it in with the cloth, then cover it again until it reaches the darkest value. You will continue this process for the lighter shadows as well, but you will add fewer layers each time so that the end result is lighter. Blend the different values. Continue adding charcoal until you reach the midpoint again. At this point, the shape of the egg should be clearly defined using only values. Any outline can be smoothed away, though be careful not to disrupt the values. This technique can be used for any charcoal drawing, no matter the subject, and it's a big time saver. Now it's time to try it yourself.